ready to move? Are we ready? Let's do it. Tuesday mornings. We'll start with some nice gentle warm-up squats. Can we call them gentle? We'll call them gentle. Jenna, you made it in too. So good. Good, Jane. Jane's here. That's what I needed to see. Awesome. Let's go. Let's do it. So pop on over to the top of your mat for using music. Hit play. Let's do some Pilates. Okie. So we will start standing, top of your mat, ready to do those warm-up squats. You can go parallel first, feet hip distance apart, zip and lace up that waist, and when you're ready, sink down into the depth of your squat that feels good in your hips and knees this morning. So allow yourself, I'm just going to move my mat back a little bit, allow yourself to sink deeper if you're feeling like the strength is there this morning. Even when you start to perform your squat, think about those thigh muscles, think about those hamstrings, think about those glutes, and gently feel an activation both as you lower and lift. So nice and controlled through the squat with the strength of those muscles around those hips and knee joints. Feel both heels pressing nice and firmly to the floor. So nice and grounded. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll come down, stay down, take some little pulses, draw that belly in and up, keep the tailbone tucked under, pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall, take your feet wide. So keep your heels and toes on the mat, so just as wide as your feet would arrive to the edge of the mat. And when you're ready, sink into a narrower, wide squat. So the palms will come together as you sink back into your squat, and then the arms will press back behind you as you stand tall. So keep those feet to the width of your mat here. Heels are in, toes are out. As the arms are pressing back behind you, start to feel that gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades, starting to activate some of those muscles around the upper back. Nice and controlled. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We stay down and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand tall. Now bring those hands to your heart. Look at something that's still. Just lift those heels, lower. Lift and lower. So stay super tall now. Feel the flex of the thighs. Feel the activation of those calves. Keep the belly zipped and laced. And just feel like there's a string line pulling the crown of the head straight up. So try not to lean your torso forward, staying super tall. Crown of the head reaching high as those heels lift, lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels length, bottoms back, left heel lifts, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, swap, right heel lifts, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, both heels flat, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand tall. Take so we're going to sink down into a half squat, and then you're going to take your right foot behind your left heel. So this is your curtsy position. Take the hands to your hips. Bring the torso back to upright, zip up the bellies. Curtsy, curtsy. Just singles here. Curtsy. So allow yourself to lunge that front knee in the direction of your toes, which are turning slightly out. And the back heel is lifted. And it's almost like you're standing on a balance beam here as you curtsy down, press up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We stay low, little pulses. Pulses. Curtsy low for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back. So feet are back to the edge of the mat. Again, heels are in, toes are out. take a little half squat to then take your left foot behind your right heel. So again, allow yourselves to zip and lace up those waists, relax the shoulders, down and up. Now the key is, once you find the shape in those legs, look at something that's still. That is going to help with your balance. As you curtsy, straight down, straight up. So try not to look at me moving, try not to look at anything else in your room moving. Just straight up, straight down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, little pulses down low. Zip and lace up that waist, front knee pulsing in the direction of those toes with a slightly turned out. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left heel back to the top of the mat. Good morning, let's rinse it out. Palms together, arms press away. Back to wide squat, heels are in, toes are out. Find your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come low and pulse, little pulses. Find a little more buoyancy now in those pulses. Wake up that body, you got it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand tall. Feet back to hip distance apart. Ready to roll down, my friends. Shoulders down and back. When you're ready, chin down towards your chest. Rolling down through the spines. If you need to bend your knees on the way down, bend your knees. Let your head and arms fall heavy. Take a moment, dangle here. Just start to get a feel of your own hamstrings, back. And then we'll soften the knees and roll back up. We're going to go again. Chin towards your chest. Rolling down. Again, try and keep those hips stacked above your heels as you fold over. Letting the weight of the head fall heavy. When you fall as far as you can, dangle for a moment. And then soften the knees and roll back up. Giving that neck a little extra stretch here this morning. You'll take those hands now behind your head. Interlace the fingers, elbows forward. Chin towards your chest. Hang out here. So just letting the weight of the hands gently stretch through the back of the neck. Feel that chin tucked towards your chest. As we now continue those roll downs, rolling down. And as you're rolling down through the spine, feeling that extra stretch. When you fold again as far as you can, hang out here, release your hands. You'll then take time to bend one knee, stretching up through the back of one leg. And then you'll swap sides, bending the other knee. And then you'll bend both knees and roll back up. Good job, guys. Give the shoulders a little roll. Shake out those legs. If you need a quick drink, take a sip of water. Or when you're ready, coming down to the mat. Pilates style, if it's in your practice, you genie the arms. You cross one foot over, zip up the bellies, bend those knees, lower down with control. And then again, transitions, just as important. Lower back to your backs. Here we are, knees and feet hip distance apart. So arms will rest out by your side. Let's find that pelvic rock, so tilt that pelvis back and tilt that pelvis forward. So as you're finding your pelvic rock here, the arms might be resting a little wider out to the side with the palms facing up. So you're observant of your upper body posture here as well. So shoulder blades are flat, chest is open and neck is nice and long. As we rock those hips forward and back. Scooping those abs as the low back presses towards the floor. And then just starting to come into your breath. Last 3, 2, and 1. Keep the scoop of the bellies and maintain a blueberry-sized curve in your low back as you float those legs to tabletop. Once they arrive here, pelvis is anchored. Lower one foot forward, tap the toes, and then the other. So again, we are moving from the ball of your hip joints, guys. So keep that belly pulling to the spine. Maintain a blueberry-sized curve in the low back. And feel that pelvis anchored to the floor. Your legs are weightless. They are light. They are floating through the air. Last 2, both sides. 1 more, both sides. And then as the legs come back to tabletop, hug the left knee towards your chest and reach the right leg long on the floor. Anchor the right heel down, give this knee a nice big squeeze. As you then hold behind the left thigh, take a moment, straighten and bend your left knee. So again, just thinking about how straight you can find this leg first thing this morning. Let's floss those nerves. And then you'll keep the leg as straight as you can to then point and flex your ankle. Feel that stretch into the back of the calf, but also again, flossing our nerves that run from our spine all the way down the back of the leg to the feet, the toes. And then you'll bring that knee back in towards your chest. Give it a nice big squeeze. And then straighten the left leg once more. Toes are pointed, thigh is flexed, hands back to the floor, but palms face down this time. Take that left leg across your body, down and up. So nice big circles with control. So again, keeping the back of the pelvis anchored to the floor, you're rotating from the ball of the hip joint. Imagine there's a pencil extending from the big toe, drawing some nice big circles. We're not drawing fluffy sheep, we're drawing big circles. Last 3, belly on. Last 2, last 1. Hug that left knee back in towards your chest, big squeeze. And then swapping sides, hug the right knee to your chest, reaching that left leg long. So again, anchor the heel of the left foot to the floor. And then feel a nice big squeeze. It's a nourishing squeeze to the hip and the knees. You pull the thigh to your chest. And then you'll hold behind that right thigh and start to straighten and bend the knee, articulate that knee joint, start to bring some length into those hamstrings. Finding your breath. As you now keep that leg long and straight, let's point and flex the ankle. So again, you might feel the stretch coming into the calf, but remember it is also flossing these nerves that supply all of the good stuff down into these legs. And then we'll keep our leg long and straight with the toes pointed. Flex your thighs so the leg is active in the air. Arms to the floor back beside you. Take the right leg now across your body, down and up. So there is very little movement through the rest of the body. It's just this right leg rotating. Nice big circles, keeping that belly pulling to the spine. Nice big circles coming from the right hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug that right knee back in towards your chest. Hugging both knees now in towards your chest. As you float those legs back through to tabletop, take your hands behind your head, just resting the fingertips at the back of the head. Feel the backs of the elbows pressing towards the floor. When you're ready, keep those elbows wide. Find your inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, lift the chest and lower back down. So again, finding your chest lift now. Keep the back of the pelvis anchored to the floor. Remember, you don't need to lift too high too soon. Just start to explore that flexion through the spine as the rib cage glides towards the front of those hips. Ever so controlled. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Stay at the top, arms by your side, pump in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Continue to find your breath. Two more breaths. Hug those knees into your chest, rest your head back to the floor, a little rock from side to side, just massage those muscles that run the length of the spine. And then we will float our legs through to tabletop, finding our knee rolls. So pop those arms back out into a T, shoulder height. Legs are in tabletop, breathe in, let the legs roll across your body. Breathe out, pull those legs back to center. And then over to the other side. So some of you may hear a couple of little clicks through the spine as you just release any stiffness in your back. Allow yourself to recognize that the waist is controlling the weight of those legs as they roll across the body, and then pulling the weight of those legs back through the center. So again, some of you might find you can do this with the eyes shut down and just feeling that nice rinse and twist into your waist as the backs of the hips roll nice and evenly from left to right. Let's go one more in both directions. And then as you come back to center, rest your feet back to the floor. As the feet rest to the floor, feet and knees are hip distance apart. Bring the arms into the air, palms are facing one another. Taking your bridge curl to articulate the spine, tilt the pelvis back, squeeze the glutes and peel the spine up from the floor. Keep the pubic bone nodding towards your nose, and then slowly stamp the spine back down. Remember this corset that wraps around the waist, keeping that zip and lace of those abs. Feel both feet pressing nice and evenly to the floor. If you find it's too much with the hands in the air, just pop the hands back to the floor beside you. Nice control, nice articulation of the spine. So it's not just a squeeze of the glutes and a lift the hip. You're tilting the pelvis, activate the glutes to lift the hips, and then peel the spine from the floor, and then stamp it back down. Last time. And this time when you get to the top, we'll stay at the top. You'll turn the palms to face forward. Now it's about the glutes. We take the arms over the head, lower those hips. Now squeeze your glutes, press up. Everything lowers, everything lifts. So use the strength of those glutes to press those hips high now. No dumping into the low back, so keep the pubic bone nodding in the direction of the nose as you press up. Keep both heels pressing firmly to the floor. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Stay at the top, come to your tippy toes as you walk the feet a little closer to lift the hips a little higher. So again, pubic bone is nodding towards your nose, rib cage stays gliding forward towards the front of the hips. Palms are now facing each other. Keep those hips high as you open the arms wide and close. Open and close. Maintain stillness and height in those hips. Those glutes are firing, they're squeezing, they're on, they stay on. Pubic bone nods towards the nose, heels stay lifted without the ankles popping out to the side. Open and close the arms, keeping the heart rate up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the arms overhead, lower the spine back to the floor, sweep the other side, bring those knees into your chest. We bring our head now up to our knees. Your hands are holding the tops of those ankles or as close to the fronts of the feet as you can. This is where you start for single knee stretch. Reach one leg forward and now swap. Outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee. Chest is lifted, rib cage is gliding forward, front of the neck remains long. Graceful with those legs as they extend away from the body. Find your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, both sides, and rest your head back to the floor. Place those feet back to the floor, arms back to the sky, palms facing each other. Tilt that pelvis, squeeze your glutes and back up into your bridge. Keeping the pubic bone nodding towards the nose. It's just such a small movement, but really think about the pubic bone nodding towards the nose as you now pulse those hips high to the sky. Little pulses, end range. Squeeze those glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the spine. Hug those knees back in towards your chest. Head back up towards your knees. Double leg stretch when you're ready. Everything opens, everything closes. Keep the weight of the head forward, front of the neck long, rib cage gliding forward. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest your head back to the floor. Lower the feet back to the floor. Arms back up in the air. When you're ready, tilt that pelvis, squeeze your glutes and roll back up. Pubic bone nods towards the nose, zip and lace up those bellies. Drive your right foot firmly down to the floor to float the left leg to tabletop. Tap the left toes, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest that left foot. Drive the left foot down to the floor, float the right leg to tabletop. Lower the right foot, tap for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest that right foot, both feet press to the floor. Lift the front of your feet now, so heels only on the floor. Pubic bone towards the nose, squeeze those glutes and pulse. Drive those heels down as you pulse those hips high for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the spine. Hug the knees back into your chest. Head towards your knees. Roll forward and back for 3, 2, and 1. You'll come all the way up to extend your legs long for spine stretch forward. Feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees if your hamstrings are tight. Otherwise, legs long and straight. Thumbs to the sky. Chin towards your chest. Roll down, duck in and under that low ceiling and reach forward, and then sitting back up nice and tall. Chin towards your chest, rolling down, duck in and under that low ceiling, reaching forward, and then sitting back up nice and tall. Continue here, using the exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to fold. Inhale back up. 3 more here. Next one, forward, stay forward. Hold your stretch. So it might be your feet, it might be your shins. Draw the belly to the spine, and as you breathe out, maybe a gentle bend of those elbows, deepening into your fold. As you start to gently release, bend your knees, feet and knees are hip distance apart. We slowly lower back to the floor. Tilt through the pelvis, lowering down. As you lower down, those arms overhead, bend your knees once more. So feet and knees are hip distance apart. Now with those arms overhead, palms are facing up. Find your inhale. Pull the elbows to your waist. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, pull those elbows in. So a little like our snow angels here, but as the arms reach overhead, really lengthen the arms as straight as you can. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw them in. Feeling those shoulder blades gliding on your upper back, keeping our chest as open as you can without flaring through those ribs. Reach and pull. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Take those hands now behind your head. Roll back up into your chest lift. Float those legs through to tabletop. Straighten those legs into the air. Reach your hands to your toes. Reach for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay at the top. Scissors. Hold behind one calf. Lower the opposite leg away. And switch. 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 Remember, the only things moving are those legs, so keep that pelvis anchored to the floor. Fold that chest up from the floor. Rib cage is gliding forward. Neck remains long. Switch. Nice long straight legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both sides. Rest your head back to the floor. As you rest your head to the floor, hugging those knees into your chest. To now land those feet back to the floor. Roll into your side. It might be to your side that faces the camera. As you support your head with your arms, pull those toes to your nose. Reach that top leg long out of your waist. Top hand on the floor. Double legs lift and lower. lift and lower. Fire up this top waist now as both legs lift and lower for 5 and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Clap those feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top leg only. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs come together, lift higher, bottom leg lowers and lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep those legs together, double legs pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Rest those legs. Top leg with a point, flex and lower. Point and lower. As you bring that heel to the floor, try and encourage the heel to find the floor in front of your bottom foot. Gracefully point high, create resistance as you pull the leg back down. Moving from just this top leg, try to limit how much movement's happening elsewhere. Last 4, drawing that belly in and up. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're going to drag that big toe in, knee points up, straighten the leg, flex and lower. Drag the big toe in, knee points up, straighten the leg, flex and lower. So as you're dragging that big toe in, encourage the knee to be pointing upward, not forward. Starting to open that hip for 3, for 2, last 1, and resting the top leg down. Bend the knees slightly forward, take the heels back, come to your bottom elbow, finding your side plank position. So if you were looking at the heels, they'd line up with your tailbone. Press the floor away through this supporting shoulder and lift that bottom rib cage, top hand to behind the pelvis. Pelvis is flat and still. Lift your feet, open and close. Squeeze those heels. Now, the purpose of the hand at the small of your back or at the resting at the back of your pelvis is so you don't over twist into the pelvis. So that your hand should remain flat and still. The rotation here is coming from that right hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the knee, rest the feet. Top leg reaches long, tap and lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting that top knee. Take the top hand now to behind your head. Top elbow taps bottom wrist. Open and close. Open and close. Just start to rotate through that torso, keeping the bottom hip anchored to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you come back up, press up, legs long and straight to the front of your mat, crossing that top leg over. Give that knee a squeeze towards the opposite shoulder and look over the shoulder behind you. Pulling the knee in, open into that hip. 3, 2, and 1. You'll slowly unravel and swing those legs to the other end, so you're still facing the camera. Lie on your side, legs are straight, slightly in front, top hand on the floor. Pull the toes to the nose, make sure the legs are level, and when you're ready, double legs lift and lower. Side bending into that top waist, lift and lower. Again, keeping the belly pulling to the spine, those 2 legs should feel like one solid piece now. Lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep those legs up your feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top leg only. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs together. Lift higher. Bottom leg lowers. Lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep those legs together. Double legs pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest those legs. Top leg lifts with a point. Flex your foot, drag the heel back down. Point and lower. Point and flex. So as that top leg is kicking high with a nice big point, flex the foot and lower back down. Reach to the sky. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, drag that big toe in now, knees pointing up. Are you still with me? Very good. Drag the big toe in, knees pointing up, straighten the leg to the sky. You got it, belly strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting that leg back down. Bend your knees slightly forward. Let's come to the bottom elbow. Pressing the floor away, lifting the bottom rib cage. Top hand comes to behind the pelvis. Again, just making sure heels are lined up with the tailbone as you pick up those feet. Open and close. Squeezing those heels together as you open and close. Continue here, squeezing those heels. Squeezing those heels. You got it. Open and close, squeezing those heels. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting the top knee, straighten the top leg now, toes are pointed. Tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift. Leg is long and straight, belly pulling to the spine. Keep pressing the floor away through this supporting forearm. Tap and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting the top knee down. Let's take the top hand now to behind your head. Top elbow, taps bottom wrist. Open and close. So again, just allowing that bottom hip to stay anchored to the floor, just encouraging this rotation and twist through the torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you come back up, press your way to seated. Legs will be to the back end of your mat. You'll cross that top leg over. Give the knee a nice squeeze towards the opposite shoulder. Taking the other hand back behind you as you look over that shoulder. Breathe into that left hip or that top hip. You've got 3, 2, and 1. You'll start to slowly unravel, guys. We're going to come over to extended child's pose. So when you're ready, flip on over, taking those knees nice and wide. Thought I nearly lost you there for a moment. As those arms extend forward, let's just sway that belly between the thighs, open through those inner thighs. You might even feel a stretch into those triceps for those who've been doing the classes the last few days. You'll be feeling them now. As those fingers reach forward, bottom pulls back. Nice full breath. As you walk those hands a big step to the left, reaching a little more with that right arm, stretching to the right side. And then back through center, big step to the right, reaching with the left arm. And then you'll slowly come back through center. As you roll through to all fours, bring those knees now to beneath your hips. Take the hands a little step further forward, just a baby step. So we'll lower those hips forward now, so you're in this lower plank. Now, as those hips come forward, make sure the bottom's not pressing back. So tuck that tailbone under and guide those hips forward. So now your shoulders are stacked above your wrists. Your fingers are spread nice and wide, belly pulls to spine, neck stays long. Are you ready? Tricep push up. Bend the elbows lower, straighten and press up. Lower and press. Keep that belly pulling to the spine, keep that neck nice and long, no shrugging of the shoulders. Push the floor away through the palms of those hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press back, child's pose. Bottom press the back, fingertips are reaching forward. Find your breath. As you slowly come forward, again, take the hands up, baby step forward. And then as you come forward, remember, tuck the tailbone under, glide the hips forward. So we've got this nice diagonal line from the shoulders down to those knees. When you're ready, round two, let's lower. Bend the elbows, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way to the floor, friends. Woo, down we go. All right, now that you're down, toes point back behind you. Belly's pulled to spine, hands stay where they are. Hands will lift gently from the floor. When you're ready, lift the chest and lower. Lift and lower. Just a little lift, start to fire up those back extensors. Keep the belly pulling to the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting back down. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knees with a flex of the thighs. Press the hands firmly to the floor. Oh, high plank. That was tough this morning. Hold your high plank. Option to lower the knees if you need, or stay here and find your side plank. Turn those feet to one side, rotate the bottom hip through, reach the top arm high. And then when you're ready, slowly come back to your high plank. To turn your feet to the other side, rotate bottom hip through. And then when you're ready, back to high plank. So again, in high plank, pivot forward, option to lower the knees. As we lower for 5 tricep push-ups, bend the elbows, straighten for 4, and 3, and 2, all the way to the floor on 1. Good job. Toes are pointed, arms by your side, palms face up. Hover the arms, roll the shoulder heads back, chest gently lifts, belly to spine, pulse those palms to the sky. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Palms down. Bellies lift, arms lift, chest lift. Roll those shoulder heads back and the shoulder blades glide down the length of the back. Pulse to the backs of the hands. So no rounding through those shoulders, broaden through the collarbones. Pulse to the backs of the hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. As you rest down, take those arms out wide into a T. Some of you might keep the arms in a T, others now you'll bend those elbows. Your head can turn to, I'm turning to the left just so I can see the camera here. So head turns to the left, you come up onto those left fingertips, and then you'll take that left leg gently back behind you, stretching into 1, the right shoulder and chest, but also some of you will feel that stretch through those lower abs and hips. Breathe. So again, as you open up into that right chest, focus the breath here for 3 more breaths. Slowly come back to your tummies. Lower that left elbow down. So again, you might keep the arms straight in a T or keep the elbow bent, cactus arm position. Turn your head to the right, come up onto the right fingertips, and that right elbow lifts as you now take that right leg back behind you. So you're opening now into that left chest and shoulder. And again, bending that right knee, so maybe the foot finds the floor. If you're really tight, the foot and leg will be hovering, that's okay. Just breathe into that left chest. Breathe into that lower right abdomen, right hip. One more breath. As you slowly, mindfully come back to your tummies. As you come back to your tummies, stack those palms, support your forehead. Take 2 belly breaths, breathe in, let that belly balloon against the floor. Breathe it all out. Once more. Breathe it all out. As you bring down those elbows beneath your shoulders, find your Sphinx pose. Elbows beneath your shoulders, pull that heart through, press the floor away, crown of the head to the sky. Some of you might straighten those arms. Allow yourself to just gently extend here. And then when you're ready, coming back down, elbows wide. So now place those hands back to the side of your chest. Bring those elbows in. Let's try it again. Round two, toes are tucked under, knees lift, thighs are flexed. Push the floor away, high plank. Good job. Bottoms arm down, we're facing dog. Heels are down, hips are high. Big breath. All the way out. Walk those feet, my friends, to the top of your mat. When you arrive here, bend the knees and roll up. Fabulous job, guys. Let's grab those straps, grab your blocks. Let's get ready to stretch it out. Almost there. So again, as you come back down to the floor, you might cross one foot, genie those arms, bend your knees and lower down. Let's pop that strap over your left foot and bring the left leg up. Right leg runs long. Head, neck and shoulders. Nice and relaxed. Let's stretch it out, guys. Let the weight of the head fall heavy. If you're comfortable, shut down the eyes, let the eyes shut down. Keep the back of that left hip anchored to the floor. You might walk your hands up the strap. You might gently pull the leg closer. You might encourage the toes to pull to your nose as you press out behind the knee. Work the stretch with your out breath. Remember, if you don't have a strap at home, sometimes a belt or a dog lead is really good just to improvise. As you take the strap with your right hand, pull the leg across your body, let the low back twist here as you pop the left arm back out to the side. As you bring the leg now back through center, swap hands, take the leg over to the left, open through that inner thigh. Keep the back of that right hip anchored best you can. And then you'll bring that leg back through center, bend your knee, release the strap. As the left leg lies long, just feel that difference down your left sides. Good, pop the strap over your right foot. Head, neck and shoulders, stay nice and relaxed. Eyes might shut down as you breathe into the back of this right leg now. Keeping the hip anchored down. Feel the sole of the foot reach to the sky. Maybe gently pulling the toes to your nose. Maybe walking the hands a little further up the strap. Every out breath, a chance to gently deepen your stretch. As you take that strap now with your left hand and pull the leg across your body, pop the right arm out to the side. Letting that low back twist. And then you'll slowly bring that leg back through center, swapping hands, take the leg over to the right, working through that inner thigh. Try and keep the back of the left hip pressing to the floor. And then you'll start to slowly bring that leg back to center. Bend your knee, release the strap. Take a moment to reset those hips, those knees bent, feet flat, bottoms up, bottoms down. Straighten those legs, just feeling the lightness in those legs. We're going to finish with your low backs just to work those hip flexors just a little bit more. So in your own time, you'll start to slowly press up, maybe hands to the small of the back as you press up, rubbing your block or a pillow. As you slowly come back down, bend your knees and using the flat side of the block, just rest it under the back of the pelvis and let those legs run long. So it is just a passive stretch to ever so gently open these smaller structures around the front of your hips. And certainly the psoas that attaches into your lumbar spine crosses out towards those hips. So we just allow this little bit of passive extension. Your arms might rest out to the side, or you might take them overhead. Just shut down the eyes. Just allow yourself 5 breaths here. You start to slowly bend your knees, feet back, flat to the floor, bringing the arms back by your side, gently squeeze your glutes, remove your blocks, and then just give yourself a wee little moment here to lie back flat. Just allowing your body to rest and absorb your practice. As you absorb your practice, you might bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. In the beautiful words from Jamie Varon, she always seems to have a way with words. Your gentle reminder today. If you feel off track, please remember there is no track. This is your life. It ebbs and flows and twists and halts and speeds up. It all belongs. Stop trying to be a robot who is productive and perfect all the time. You're not a robot. You are human, being alive to it all. Let's accept all of our humanness today, my friends, as you reach those arms overhead. You wriggle those fingers and toes, blinking those eyes open. Have a wonderful Tuesday. It is Tuesday. I'll see some of you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. Comments always stay open. Jump in. Let me know how you feel. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.